LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean starts you off at the beginning of the Curse of the Black Pearl with a reimagined cutscene that only LEGO could pull off. Obviously, it's the original cutscene from the original movie, with all the little enhancements that make the LEGO series what it is. After the cutscene ends, you go ahead and start playing the game. First thing you're going to realize, if you're familiar with the LEGO series of games, is that not much has changed. The game is basically the same. You have a couple of characters. They go ahead and run around. They each have different abilities. You go ahead and break objects to find new items, and you solve a few puzzles here and there. LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean does introduce a couple new and very unique character abilities. For example, Jack Sparrow has a compass that when he pulls it out, you get to pick an item that he wants to find. And then a trail is laid out before him, and he goes ahead and tries to find it. Some of these items are necessary for solving some of the puzzles to move on in the story. However, some of them are just collectibles. Will Turner has a hatchet, which you need to solve puzzles where you have to hit targets at a distance. And Mr. Gibbs, he has the ability to repair broken down machinery, which glows orange when it's broken. In addition to a few new abilities, LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean has taken the engine used in LEGO Star Wars 3, which is a very enhanced engine over the previous LEGO games such as Batman, Indiana Jones, and LEGO Star Wars 2. The graphics in the game are very, very good. The lighting and the shading are excellent. The texture quality and the environments look like they belong in a real game and not a LEGO game. One of the major differences between LEGO Star Wars 3 and LEGO's Pirates of the Caribbean is the amount of enemies and characters on the screen at any given time. LEGO Star Wars 3 would flood the screen with enemies, and it would just be a giant brawl. The frame rate would suffer because of this. However, in LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean, they keep it under control. There's a decent amount of friendlies and enemies on the screen at any given time, but it never goes too crazy to where the frame rate is hurt. So this is definitely a positive over LEGO Star Wars 3. Now moving on to what's not so good about this game. The game basically points out each little area that you need to go to and how to go ahead and do it. For example, a little arrow will point up if you pick up an item that's required to move on to the next part of the level. And then it'll go ahead and point you exactly where you need to go. And if there's any obstacles in the way, it'll actually have little icons telling you which type of character you need to get past those obstacles. For example, if there's a barrel that you need to blow up to move on, the game will highlight the barrel and show a little torch icon. So there's no thinking involved. There's no need to go ahead and try and figure out how to move on from this situation on your own. Although it might seem obvious to some people, it might not be obvious to everyone. And this takes away some of the fun of the game. Another example of this is when I said the items that Mr. Gibbs can repair glow orange. It's bright orange. It's right out there. There's no thinking about it. You know exactly where to go and what you need to do to it to fix it. Overall, this kind of breaks the game for me. It makes it just far too easy. It might be designed more for younger kids, maybe 13 and under, instead of everybody like the other LEGO games are usually geared towards. However, like I said, this is a deal breaker for me. I can really only recommend this game to die-hard Pirates of the Caribbean fans, die-hard LEGO fans, or kids 13 and under. For anybody who really wants to play this game, I strongly recommend renting it first.